Hi, Anna. How are you today?
Hi, Trisha. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good. Great to see you, as always. Today, we're taking just a few moments to talk a little bit about your experience in the Empower Her Woman coaching program and for you to tell everybody what that was like and what you enjoyed about it. But before we dive into the actual program, I would love for you to just tell everyone who you are, what you do, and what you love about what you do.
Sure. So I have worked in the nonprofit sector for most of my career. For the past 15 years or so, I've worked with one incredible Caribbean nonprofit. Our focus is really on sustainable development in the region in a very broad sense. And I really love what I do because I like the mix of working with people and being able to support them and what they are really good at and seeing each person really go into their strengths. I love our Caribbean region, and I think it's such a privilege to get to work for and support Caribbean people and support the growth of our region.
And I just want to acknowledge that what you're talking about here and what I've seen in you over the time that we've had a chance to work together is that you love not only the work that you do, but you love the value and the impact that the work has, but you also love the team and the people that you work with very much. And I know that is at the heart of how you work with and lead your team. Just wanted to acknowledge that. I think that really shines in you throughout the time that we worked together.
Thank you.
So tell everyone a little bit about what was it that brought you to a women's coaching program? Why did you join? What were you looking for?
Well, I think to be completely honest, I have never done anything like this before. I had a very narrow view of what coaching entailed and what I could really get from such a program. I was in a space of real burnout in my life. I don't think I'd ever really recovered from COVID, actually, and just that constant no break, just kind of pushing continuously. I have young kids working full time. So I think a lot of people could understand this sort of headspace. I was just in a real time of burnout and lost a lot of joy in a job that I love so much. That was a real disconnect for me. And I really struggled to come out of the fog. And I wanted to not feel exhausted every day. I wanted to wake up and try to rediscover the vitality for life that I had always had throughout my whole life. But I just got to this space of exhaustion and burnout and not really knowing how to dig myself out of that. And I met you. You see a lot of different coaching programs being promoted and advertised. I had never once thought, oh, yes, that's for me. I'm going to go there. And I think just getting to know you and knowing your expertise and everything that you brought to the table, I trusted you. I remember at the start, I was like, well, can I just do something with you individually? I don't really need to do a whole group thing. I was nervous about that. You really sold it to me. You reassured me about the benefits that I would get from this. And I just started. I think it was a matter of like, I had no other choice. And it hit at the right time. Even though I did not know how I was going to make time for this, it became a choice I made for myself that this is something I had to do.
First of all, I have to say thank you for the trust. I know you trusted me. So thank you for the trust and sort of diving into this with me. And I want to acknowledge there are a few things that you said in there that I think are important that I want to just emphasize to people. A lot of people don't necessarily know what coaching is and what kind of different shape and form that it could take. A lot of people think of coaching in different forms, like akin to therapy. I always say that they're cousins, they're related, but they're not quite the same. Coaching, and certainly what we do is group coaching, has immense power in it and is very different to individual coaching or to therapy or anything like that. But what I really love about what you're saying, not just highlighting coaching and what it is, but highlighting that you were in a position where you knew you wanted to feel and needed something different in your life, and that you made a choice to search for something that would help you to change that, because you're living in a space of stress, lost joy, and overwhelm, and knowing that that's not sustainable. And that's not a happy place to be. We should love the work that we do. We should love the people that we work with, and we should love the life that we have, that joy and fulfillment. We should be able to have all of that. I love that you were kind of like, I knew that I was in that place and I just needed to do something different. I think so many people can resonate with that because they feel like that as well. So that's such a great thing that you highlight. This program is a goal-focused program. So we do put a goal at the center of our program. And we do that in service of working towards something. We set a goal for 12 months out, and define a milestone for our time together in the program. Can you tell us a little bit about what your milestone for the program was? What was the thing that you were working on achieving during the time that we were together in the program?
Sure. And I will start by saying that I did not know what my goal was going to be, or even exactly what I wanted to focus on before coming to the program. And I think that's important for other women to know. Sometimes you just are in that space of overwhelm or burnout or whatever you want to call it. And you don't exactly know, you can't write a sentence to articulate it. And that's where I started. It took me a few sessions with you, going through a few of the group calls where you really facilitate that process for us. And the goal that I ended up with at the end of the 12-month period, and then zoomed into that milestone of the 4 months, was being able to have confidence and clear direction in what my career was going to be, and really having a balance and just feeling happy and content with that choice. And
Yeah.
and I think that was kind of the big picture. And it sounds very broad, like, don't we all want that? So how was that specific? Drilling down on what are the milestones to get me to that point, and what are the different actions that I took on a week by week basis. And when I looked at that and mapped it out, I started to see all the different outcomes that would lead me to that place. I realized that it was so much more than just, I want to be clear on my career. That was one way of looking at it, but it really encompassed so much more around just having better balance in life.
I truly appreciate that you bring that up and share your personal story and experience in that way, because a lot of times when women come to this, they're like, oh, I don't know if I want to work on a personal goal. I don't know if I want to work on a professional goal. I don't really know what my goal is. And your story just emphasizes that you don't have to have this immense clarity on a goal to join the program. We will figure that out together. It was like knowing that I needed something different was enough to be able to start, right?
Bring me there, yeah.
And like you're talking about, it sounds kind of broad when you talk about the goal, but I know, and you know, that there was very specific things that we did. And for you, it was a real blend. And I think what was interesting in your story is that when we started mapping out what it would take to get there, we started with, for you, what was really important in that moment was the personal side of the goal, like being able to find balance that gave you joy and happiness every single day in terms of the choices that you were making to reduce some of the stress and overwhelm and to reconnect with what was really important to you. And we chose to put that first. The thing that we worked on was not the discovery part about the career and the leadership journey and all of those things, but more the personal positivity and fulfillment and joy that you just needed to find every day. And I think as we work on our goals, it's always a unique path. So you have to design the unique path that's important for you to get to your goal. I think that is the difference of when we talk about confidence boosting goals and goals that put you at the center of them, then you define a path that helps you to be able to get there rather than just the standard expectation of the things that you would do. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's easy to lose the personal meaning and what you needed first before you could essentially go after some other things that were also part of your goal, but you needed to put you at the center. And I think that was what you did first, which I think is a really important part of your story and the way you went after your milestone and your bigger goal.
Absolutely. And I think it comes down to, why do we even want to go after this goal? Why is it important? We don't take the time to really drill down on that. And that's really the crux of it right there. And that is what's going to make it a sustainable thing to work towards. It's not something that you should do, or that, that is quite distant and yes, if I get there, it'll be fine. Like, it's really coming down to, why do I want this? What are the reasons? You need that in order to get up every day and take those actions towards achieving it. So I think that's something also that it may seem like an obvious step, but you place such a focus on that at the beginning as well. And really taking that step back and mapping out, what is it that you want? And when you really ask yourself that and give yourself the time to answer, you're going to come up with things that might be quite surprising, actually, and will take you in different directions.
So Anna, tell us, what is the thing that you are most proud of achieving or doing in this program? What is your biggest success, the thing that you are most proud of?
I think consistency. I think I surprised myself by how I was able to just grab one of the challenges that you gave us, or each challenge week by week, and really be consistent with implementing them in my day-to-day life. It's because it's so easy when you're excited at the start of something, you go all in, or at least I do, kind of hot and heavy at the start, and then it trails off. I have been very proud of my level of consistency. That has been the trick in maintaining balance. Being able to see those small actions I took every day as a way out of the stress, the way out of any kind of fog. It's easier said than done. It's not a major, shiny achievement, but it felt very real to me because that is what's led me to achieve my goal.
Yeah, I love that. Like you said, it's one of those things you read on Instagram 1,000 times about the importance of consistency, but the difference between doing it and knowing it is a huge difference. And it's a big part of change and the challenges in change, the difference between knowing and doing and crossing what we call that knowing doing gap. We all know these things and think they're easy. They sound easy in words, but actually showing up every week, taking the inspired action every day, coming with energy every day, the consistency of doing that for the length of time we're together in the program leads to really big results. It's a small thing every day, but it leads to really big results at the end. And it sounds easy, like we say on paper, but we know that it's really challenging to be able to do that. Okay, in this program, we work on lots of different things. We work on beliefs, we work on confidence, we work on strength. There are all sorts of different themes and topics that we work on. What is one maybe that you would like to highlight where something really shifted or changed for you? You know, what did you kind of believe or think before, and what do you kind of believe or think now? What's something that changed you in one of those areas?
I think one of the surprising things about this program is that you operate, Trisha, at various levels. You explain the theory and the science behind things. We kind of operate at this kind of high level, really strategic view of what we're trying to do here. Then we drill down into the very tangible, practical actions. What surprised me most is the mindset shift I experienced, linking all of those things together and looking at one big picture of how to get from A to B. And there was so many exercises that I came out every single week with a real positivity and learning. It was just a constant learning for me. And I love to learn. One of the things that I realized is a strength of mine, actually. One of the breakthroughs that I did have is that you exposed us to a strengths assessment and really kind of figuring out what are we good at, again, in areas that you may not have thought of as strengths before. I think being able to think strategically, being able to see learning as a strength, and just having that whole mindset shift of how to get out of a slump or see through the fog was huge for me.
Yeah, I love that. You know, that is a very pivotal moment, a sort of a tipping point for everyone in the program, that discovery of your strengths and starting to see how they show up in your life, like where they show up and how you can start to utilize them, and really acknowledging who you are, your unique strengths and who you are and how they show up. And I know you will know that, you know, it comes at a very important time in the program in terms of discovery. And we're at a point in the program where it really anchors the experience that we're having and what we're discovering. And I think that makes it all the more interesting and unique at that point in time. I love that you bring that up. Thank you for sharing that. So here's the last question I have for you, Anna. I would love for you to talk to the woman who might be watching this video, who's thinking, I might be interested in something like this, but I don't really know. Tell us a little bit about who do you think is the type of woman that would benefit from joining a program like this? And what would you say to her if she was watching, thinking of doing it, thinking of taking the leap?
I mean, I will go as broad as every single woman could benefit from this, but I want to zoom in on, I think, women like me who, again, maybe a bit skeptical about a group coaching program, which is really, you're in a space of real vulnerability. You are coming together week by week to share. You're going to get out of it as much as you put in. Being in that space is not something that everybody feels might be for them. I want to speak to women who are incredibly busy and do not have time for anything else. They cannot squeeze in another minute into their day. This program is for them, because you will find that through this program, through everything that you walk us through, you will create time. You will win time back for yourself. And I just think that we don't often give ourselves the opportunity to have learning and discovery experiences like this. And it's just a gift that you can really give to yourself. If something is that important, you make time for it. It can especially benefit women who are on that treadmill, career, personal life, whatever it is. It can enhance what you are currently doing. It will make you more productive, more creative and innovative. I think that it's not just about drilling down and achieving career goals. It's rediscovering what it is about life that you love, what makes life incredible for you, whatever that looks like. And I just can't say enough about this program. It comes down to your expert facilitation, Trisha, and creating that space where everybody feels like they are being heard, like you are getting value out of it. Also, coming into this program with 4 other women in our group, we did not know each other, and I got as much from them as I did from you. That's something that was quite surprising for me. I did not think that I would be able to learn and benefit as much and get different perspectives that would benefit me in a selfish way, right? You think that everybody's kind of here for themselves, and you realize that as a group, that dynamic actually was really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to emphasize the point that you said that really resonates with me. When we step into life with vitality and positivity, we are able to be so much better in terms of innovative and creative and enlightened work that we do, right? So that when we bring those things together, and we so often as women, like you're saying, get onto this treadmill of life of just the doing, that we lose the vitality, the happiness and the joy, and they truly serve each other. So we think we're just on this treadmill of going and getting after all these things and have to work harder, more. And we forget the other side of it. And actually, in forgetting that, we're compromising our ability to achieve those things that we want to achieve by reshifting and focusing on both aspects with balance of the goals and the tactical things that we want to achieve, as well as the positivity and the vibrancy and the joy. When we bring those things together, we actually get much more success and get much better results. And I think you're really highlighting that. So for all of us that feel like we're just on that treadmill and it's impossible to do anything else, this small shift will actually speed that treadmill up, though you may not recognize that in some ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I could add another thing, Trisha, this program is 4 months, but you will take from it things that will last you a lifetime, right? Because you are learning things about yourself that maybe you knew, but you forgot, or maybe you knew, but didn't know how to articulate, things that will serve you in your personal life and in your professional life, and things that you will carry with you. I think I have left the program with just a sense of calm as well. Anything that is coming to me now, or things that may hit me that would have been so stressful months ago, I now have a sense of calm, and I know how to take deliberate actions to walk myself through anything. And I think that's something that I did not expect to come out of a coaching program. I think you have to find a better way of describing this program because I cannot tell people enough about what it has given to me.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. I love that you're talking about the fact that you had this massive shift in your perspective and your ability to handle stressful situations with calm. I don't want to underplay the amazing growth you've had in terms of your leadership ability and stepping into big, bold moves for yourself in terms of your career growth and all. We talked a lot about, I think, the personal side of what you got out of it, but I don't want to underplay the immense bold steps that you've also made in terms of your own career. And I just want to say that loving standing back and watching this unfold in terms of where you're going and what's happening and how you are taking your own organization into new spaces and doing amazing new things. I just want to say
thank you so much. And this, I think the timing was maybe a bit uncanny, it's how things happened. But I've walked into a leadership position with a sense of readiness that I got from this program, really and truly. And I really value that. And everything that I did, that at the time I wasn't even sure where this would lead. And it really all came together for me. So I just want to thank you so much. All the work that you do and how you bring us to this point.